Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. How's everybody today? I hope that you're doing well. I just posted in the comments on YouTube, because you can do that on YouTube. You can post before the live. That I hope there's no technical glitches, and then I couldn't find my phone. And my phone is an important part of broadcasting. So I was looking all over the house in the last 5 minutes, found it 2 minutes before I needed to go live. We're good. We're good. So anyways, I hope that you're all well. It is April 3rd, 2024 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. And again, I am Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. Today's class is going to have some scrapbooking in it. How many of you are scrapbookers, memory keepers? You've got some books laying around the house with photos in it. If you're not, it's okay. I hope that you're inspired by the layout, by the creativity, and what I'm going to be doing is taking that layout and showing you a card version from that layout. So stick around, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I could never do scrapbooking. It seems like it's an overwhelming thing to take on, but let me tell you that if you are a card maker, you can be a scrapbooker. It's just a slightly bigger canvas. Okay. And I'm introducing some scrapbook pages to you today, not only because we are featuring a beautiful suite called Nature's Sweetness. It debuted in the mini catalog in January. And we're featuring it because my Blog Hop group, my All-Star Blog Hop group, is showing lots of different ideas from it today. About 5 hours from now at 4 p.m. Central Time, the blog post connected to this live video is going to be live for you to go and see. You go there, then you click on the other names of the hop participants, and you can see all kinds of great inspiration using the Nature's Sweetness suite. But I'm not only bringing it to you because of the beautifulness of this suite, but because scrapbooking, the scrapbooking line is going to be expanding. Stampin' Up! Has told us that not soon, I shouldn't say soon, but it's going to happen probably within the year, hopefully sooner. They're working hard to increase their scrapbooking line because Close to My Heart is closing its doors, I'm sure you've heard. And We've invited the makers from Close to My Heart to join Stampin' Up! And this is the month that they've got this great special for them going on. And so with the inclusion of scrapbooking makers from Close to My Heart, we're adding more scrapbooking to our line. And I'm so thrilled about that because personally, when I did my in-home business, I was doing half scrapbooking classes and half card making classes. I am an avid scrapbooker. I love scrapbooking. And I'm excited that we're going to see more options for products out there. Every month I do a scrapbook page or a scrapbook page layout with the paper pumpkin kits. But today I'm going to invite you to watch what I do with the Nature's Sweetness Suite. Let's take a peek at the Nature's Sweetness Suite. And as I do that, can we please give a warm welcome to Trisha Josephs and Lisa Marshall. They are my moderators. We have Trisha Josephs on YouTube and we have Lisa Marshall on Facebook. Say hello. Woohoo! Yes, are there any makers here right now? Trisha just posted that. I would love to know if any scrapbook and Close to My Heart makers are out there. Let's take a peek at what Stampin' Up! Can do. We do have 12 by 12 cardstock. It's in assorted packs, and we have 12 by 12 in designer papers. Hoping for more than that, though. So this is the Nature's Sweetness suite in the catalog. You can also find this information when you go to the online store. Oops, had that up there for a minute. If you go to the online store, you can take a peek at all the different suites we offer, all the products we offer, in fact. But here is the Nature's Sweetness suite. Lots of beautiful ideas with card making and stuff. That's pretty. I just noticed that. And then you can see along here, I've put ours next to some products because some of them are leaving. We have, let's see here, 1 month left. The month of April before we switch to a new annual catalog. This mini catalog and our current annual catalog are closing, are leaving, and some of the products are retiring. from this suite, it looks like the Notes of Nature bundle, which is this one here, this stamp set and dies, and the 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper are staying. So the paper that I show you today is staying, but like the cork rounds and this faux leather trim and the suite, the bundle that I'm using, they're all going. Here's more samples. It's just a gorgeous suite, and I can't wait to show it to you. So let's get going. I was inspired by a close to my heart maker, and I better make sure that I have that name correct. So let me go into, oh gosh. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to pull that up. You're going to have to see on my blog because I didn't memorize her name and now I'm feeling so bad. But she has this series of videos that she shared, and they were lots of different layouts. She said there was 101. Let me find it. 101 of the videos, and I watched that one, and I look forward to seeing the other ones because there's lots of great inspiration in there. Her name, it's coming up right now. Her name is, here it comes. I want to give credit to where credit is due. Kelly Baxter Fitzgerald, thank you so much for the inspiration. What I saw on your page was this really fun, like a square wreath. And so I'm going to bring in my 12 by 12 basic white cardstock. Let me get this off my screen. I'm so sorry. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And when we do expand our line, I'm looking forward to having some 12 by 12 black coming back. But in the meantime, let me show you a little trick because I wanted to have something that was larger than 8.5 by 8.5 for a square in the middle. And so I'm going to use my trimmer. And I'm going to cut at 9 inches. So we have a 9 inch by 8.5 inch piece here. And then I'm going to cut a little strip from this. We'll just make it, I don't know, 1.5 inches. It doesn't have to be too wide. And we'll make that by 9 inches. And basic black is a dark, dark color. So it's going to kind of have, I mean, when we make the square from this, it's kind of going to disappear, all right? So you'll still see a little bit of line if you look really close, but let me show you the trick that I did. So I laid this paper in this direction on my trimmer, and I went to the 9-inch mark, like that, and you can see I still have a 1/2 inch to fill in. So I took my seal adhesive, and I ran that around along the edge here. And then I grabbed this piece and I made sure that it was flush with the top and it was right up to the channel mark of my trimmer. So it went right to the 9-inch mark. All right, don't do it the opposite direction because you won't have like the ability to see a straight line going this way. This is a nice straight line to follow. So there is my 9-inch by 9-inch black square. So after I did that, I then cut some other pieces. I cut from another piece of 12 by 12 white. I cut a piece that was, and now I'm going to go to my measurement sheet. And I'm not showing it to you yet. Normally I show you this sheet, but I'm not showing it to you quite yet. Then I went to make an 8 3/4 by 8 3/4 square from another 12 by 12. Easy to do, right? You guys know what that's all about. And then I went and I got another piece. And this is my designer paper. So picture a white layer here, this designer paper on top, and then I started building things in the middle. Before I started building things in the middle, I took a pause and I did the square wreath that I was talking about, okay? So let's take a peek at the products real quick, and then we're gonna show you some square wreath and what that's all about, okay? So these are the products I'm using from the suite. The Notes of Nature stamp set, which I think is really, really cool, and I'm so sad that they're making it go. And then we have the Notes of Nature dies that coordinate. We've got some really cool leaf dies in here. I'll be using all of them in my creations. We've got these 2 dies, which die cut the images from the stamp set. Here's another one, it die cuts the flower. Oh, here's another tiny little leaf, so cute. And then we've got this fun little border die. So you'll want to check this suite out. It's got a little splatter stamp in it and some sentiments. It's a great all-around stamp set. I even love this grid. We're going to also use something that's not in this suite. This is from the Wanted to Say dies, and I'm just going to pull out the Celebrate, the back layer and the front layer because we're going to use those. And then let me show you one more thing from the suite, and that is the designer paper. So I'm only using 3 things from the suite for the pages and cards today, but look at the gorgeous paper. It has a foiling design on one side, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets that are foiled on one side, and then on the other side, and I'll just flip it over like this, on the other side we have designs like that. So lots of beautiful neutralish kind of papers to work with. I've seen people taking and adding color to the white ones so that you have like a white and gold, I'm sorry, like a colored and gold instead of just white and gold. This dark color here, this is gray, it's called Pebbled Path. We won't be integrating any Pebbled Path gray into the pages though, so I'm instead using basic gray for my ink color because we're using basic black. So I'm leaving out the Pebbled Path coloring, but I am using the papers that have the gold foiling and the white on it. So those papers are this one here, which I just showed you I have a square piece from, and then this one, which we're going to die cut from. It's snowing and blowing in Wisconsin, Shar. Are you serious? Oh, will this winter never end? All right. Happy spring. Happy white spring. Okay. So I used my black piece as a guide. And the way that I centered it is I took, because I knew this was 9 by 9 and this is 12 by 12, that's a 3-inch difference. So on the outside edges, this plus this equals 3. That means that these are 1.5 inch sections. So I took some strips that were 1.5 inches, and I just put some temporary adhesive on here and added it to the sides here like that, so that all of these strips were kind of making a little frame. Now you could take a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock and you could definitely, you know, make a whole entire frame by cutting 1.5 inches in all the way around. I kind of talked about that with my perennial lavender pages that I did recently. Oh gosh, I've been doing scrapbooking even more often than I thought I had. So we've got one on each side here, and we'll make sure that they're flush with the edge. And then what I did is I took this piece and I also added it with temporary adhesive. And the reason why is because we're going to have to lift it up. So I added that in like so. Like so. I think I say that often. Like so. Okay, there it is. So after those were done, I pulled these away and I made sure that this was pressed down nice and hard with the temporary adhesive so that I could work with it. And I grabbed this paper here and I die cut. I cut with my dies. I die cutted. I took and cut with my dies some of the coordinating images that go with the dies. So on this paper, you actually have the flower. Where did my dies go? You have the flower, you have the leaves. See, look, isn't that awesome, you guys? Where's my, oh, here it is. I'm gonna use some Post-it tape here to just stick these in place. So we have the leaves that fit. We have this branch piece that you can die cut, and then that flower piece. I'm so excited that these dies work. Okay, I think I've lined it up good. And now we'll take and cut them. We'll sandwich everything together. So I've just got my platform, my die adapter layer, and my 2 cutting mats with the paper and dies in between. And when I pull this away, I've got my leaves cut out and my little branch piece cut out. See, in a recorded video, you could delete some of that. Sorry about that. Took me some time to get that out. Okay, so there's that. We're going to put this off to the side for now. And I'm going to pull in some other pieces that I've already cut ahead of time because we have a lot to share. So I grabbed some scraps Like, okay, here they are. So these are the papers, the extra papers that I'm using. I'm using basic black, basic white, gold foil, and then the cardstock colors are Mossy Meadow, Granny Apple Green, and Parakeet Party. This is Mossy Meadow, by the way. This strip also can act as a piece to die cut some leaves. So if you cut it long enough, you can get your leaves from this, because that one we cut those leaves with. This color, the Granny Apple Green, we cut those leaves with. I'll flip them over so you can see the detail better. From this color, the Parakeet, we cut those leaves. From the gold, we cut those leaves, and we get that piece. Lots of these, because you can cut them down, as you can see. We get gold leaves like that and green leaves like that. All right, so let's do some building with those pieces. We'll move these off to the side. We'll keep these in here because we're going to need to die cut those next. All right, we're making a mess again, you guys. There's lots of stuff back here on my back table. All right, let's bring our page back in. How do we get rid of this temporary adhesive? Well, you go to My Favorite Extras and you can purchase an adhesive eraser. It's a little tool that looks like this, and then you just come in and it basically rubs off adhesive, tape adhesive. It does get rid of like multi-purpose liquid glue that has dried, but you want it to dry first and then you can rub it off. We used to carry this actually as a Stampin' Up! Product. Okay, so there's that. Next, we're going to take and figure out where we want our up, our down, and all of that stuff, and then we're going to start adding these by just tucking them underneath corners and edges. And if I had all of them cut, I would probably be doing like one here, one here, one here, one here, kind of, but not like even, kind of make them look like they're not even. Okay, and then like this one here. So this is a square wreath. Basically, you're building up some really pretty foliage that goes around the outer edges of your page. I'm going to move this one here for now because after that's done, then you have some other gaps, unless you want to do it all with dies, okay? If you want to do it all with dies, you certainly can. It's a little bit easier because you can manipulate before you stick everything down. And there's a risk when you stamp, right? But if you want to add some stamped images, you can do that too. So you can take these pretty images here, and I've got Granny Apple Green ink, basic gray ink. This is for my Granny Apple. And I've got the Parakeet Party ink. Parakeet Party, by the way, is a color that's leaving, and I am making the most of it before it goes because it is my favorite. In fact, last week I think I shared Parakeet Party a lot too. Okay, so after those are in place and they're not stuck down yet, then you come in with your stamp imagery. So on this page here, I thought it'd be fun to lift this up and stick down, and I that's kind of moved over a little bit too far, but stick down a branch of leaves like that right in that spot. And to make it even more special, I'm going to use my blender pen. This is a blender pen. It's got like a clear liquid that is wet and helps to pull color from water-soluble inks into the image. And you can take and dip right into like a little spot of color, maybe in the well of your lid, or you can put a re-inker, drop a little re-inker onto an acrylic block and then pull from there. You can run it till it's clear, and this is a really light color, so you're not going to see a lot of excess ink come off. But that's how you can get some really pretty green leaves without owning everything. Just the stamp and a blender pen, and you've got lots of room to color in images. With this one, all I did was just stamp it. So I just took and, again, lifted up and stamped it down. And then I had some beautiful branches coming out. And you, again, you don't want to have this stuck yet, but you want to have it held temporarily. And then with this one, I went kind of everywhere. So I moved these off to the side and I did a little bit of spattering here and there. And then I brought my leaves back in. So I'm just going to add these in there. And again, I would bring these back in and I'd start to glue and build up my page layers. So however we did it, we came up with this. There is my square wreath. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here because we're done with that for now. All right, so what do we fill in the inside? Well, I took her layout and I said, let's just apply this layout to the Stampin' Up! Suite that I'm doing. Let's just take and kind of estimate what her measurements were, because I didn't go back and watch the actual page being built. I just saw it done and I was in awe of it. I loved it. There is a link, by the way, in my blog post to her video, so you can take a peek at it. So the next thing I did is I grabbed my white layer and my designer paper layer. I don't have that white layer done. Let me make one real quick. What was that? That was 8 3/4 by 8 3/4, right? So let's take and cut that really quick. Extend the arm of my trimmer. 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. And that fit into the 9 by 9 with an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, this will be better if I have this layer under here, because you'll be able to see the look I'm going for. So I did something like that. And then I took and added my photo layer and a little accent color. So my photo layer is 5 by 7, although in today's day and age, you can adjust and make your photos any size you really want. They can go from true digital or normal 4 by 6 or 5 by 7, and you can shrink and you can crop, and you know what I mean? So I did something like that. All right. It's looking cool. It's one of these scrapbook pages that could actually become wall decor, right? You could put this in a frame on the wall and feature a really stunning photograph in the middle. I wanted a sentiment area, so I took another piece that was 3 inches by, and I'm going to tell you the right measurements here, 3 inches by just over 1.5 inches. And I stamped on it. And that's where I brought that grid stamp in, along with my favorite color, Parakeet Party, which is leaving us. So sad. And I just took and stamped it straight on. Now you could stamp it lighter if you want to, but it's a very light colored ink. So for writing down some memory keeping journaling, all you have to do is just write on those lines. And you could have that stamp image be vertical or horizontal. Thank you, Lori. All right, then I layered it onto a tiny piece of black that was only 1/8 of an inch bigger in each direction. So this is 3 1/8 by 1 3/4 inches. And I stuck it down. I probably put more tape on, but I'm just doing this really fast so you can see. And that got added here. In fact, I haven't quite done that yet on my finished page, but that would be added here along with some leaves. And I also took, and I'm going to move this off to the side now because I want to bring in my machine again. And we're going to cut our sentiment now, okay? So let's grab our sentiment pieces, our dies, our celebrate. And you've got a couple ways that you can do this. You can either die cut this straight, which is what I prefer, because I'm not somebody who's, I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a fan of the adhesive sheets. Maybe because it takes me a while to pull them away from the actual cardstock, but we'll demonstrate with them. We'll see. We'll watch Rachel struggle. Let's watch her struggle. Okay, so we need Parakeet Party paper, and we're going to take and just add a little bit of this. So I'll just cut it with my long bladed scissors like that, which I guess I need to clean because every time I use that lately, paper just sticks to it. And then you take and you peel away one side. There we go. Okay, and you can see when you pull it away which side is sticky. The stickiness is on my right. So I'm going to add that down onto my paper, or the back side of a designer paper if you're using a double-sided paper. This has the same on each side. And then I'll lay this across here. And because I want it to not move, I am going to use some Post-it tape just to hold it. Don't want it to shift too much. Then for this piece, we need this onto our scrap of Mossy Meadow. I considered black, but I thought it hid too much in the design of the page with black behind it. So we did Mossy Meadow for this one. And now we go ahead and sandwich that again. And we cut. And I did not sandwich that very well, but it looks like it's okay. It's not even. Okay, so this is what happens. You get this result. You get the cut all the way through the cardstock and the sticker. But this is where I sometimes struggle, is like the sticker sometimes wants to cling to the cardstock that is still there, although this one's separating pretty well for me. I love to use the sponging adhesive on. That's how I like to do it. But that's kind of the old-fashioned way because we do have these adhesive sheets and it makes this whole thing become a sticker. All right, so there we go. Hey, Rachel didn't struggle too hard with it this time. And there is our background piece. We'll move this stuff, get it over here in our scrap pile. Okay. So then you can just take and peel off the sticker on the back side here, and it should be all connected. So as you start peeling, you got to be careful though, because you want to make sure that you don't distort your word. So I'm going to lay down part of my word as I go here. There we go. And then we'll just lift this and peel a little bit more and lay it down. Hey, this sticker thing's working for me today. But again, if you do not have sticker sheets, all you do is you die cut it from your cardstock, and then you take a sponge. Just take a sponge and maybe like the silicone craft sheet, or you can use the scrap of paper. You squeeze out a bit of glue onto it, take your sponge, grab the glue, and put it on the back side of the green, light green Celebrate, and then stick it down on here. And that's how you can connect it, 2 different ways. Okay, so we've got that. And now we're going to show you an assembly here. So I've got my pieces back here. I've got these things stuck down except for these. With this, do you see the photo here? The photo, I want to be able to slip an actual photo under here. And if I tape this in all 4 corners, I won't be able to slide this. So one trick with scrapbookers is that they take and they only put adhesive in really careful areas, okay? So you kind of lay it down, you put it on the back side, you know, you kind of keep peeking up and seeing where you can add it. I can put one right about there. For sure, one in the corner down here. And I think I'm going to stop at that. So let's peel off the backings. These are black dimensionals. When you're using a black cardstock or a dark on dark, it's kind of a great way to conceal your adhesive. So now you can see I can tuck that under there still. Okay. These pieces need to be adhered, so I'm going to bring in my little precision tip bottle for this. And I already know where they're going, as you can see. What I did is I took my Celebrate first, and I kind of laid it where it was going to go. And then I started adding these pieces, just like this. So your Celebrate also, you can see that's overlapping your photo area. So you'll want to have that up on dimensionals. Do you also notice that I am able to tuck in these branches, these leaf clusters? I'm able to do that because I did not put adhesive all the way underneath my photo. And I'm also putting adhesive just on the bottom portion of the leaves, because if this is going to be in, say, a frame that's on the wall, I love the look of the popped out leaves. They come away from the paper and they're so pretty that way. This one I'm going to put adhesive just under that base leaf, lift this up, tuck it down, and then I'm going to have that curl across the photo area so that it kind of helps to wrap it. Do you love this cute little adhesive holder? This is from the Country Hive. I shared it last week. It's so cool. Now, I think I'm going to move this up a bit here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is add our celebrate. And for our celebrate, again, the mini dimensionals. You can have your hole that's in the middle of your C show off the designer paper. It can show off the black. It can show off the white. It's just a matter of what look are you going for. So I am going to show off a little bit of the white because I really want that C to stand out. So I'm adding dimensionals all across here, and then I'm leaving the ends of the word to be as is. So let's take our grid paper and just lay this page down, and then we're going to use our grid paper. Visually, I'm just looking at those lines going there to make sure that when I add this, I've got it pretty straight. And I think that looks it looks pretty parallel to the top and bottom of the page and the lines of the grid paper. So that's how I completed the inside. Now let's pull in that page that we were working on before, this one. And this would be a cased page of hers. And I'm going to show you I'm going to show you my measurement sheet here. Hang on a minute. Almost there. I gotta love technology. Okay, so there it is, pages. Okay, I'm gonna show you my finished pages, or my PDF that you'll be able to print off. So if you like this design, you can take and recreate it, obviously watching the video, the tips and all of that. This PDF will be printable from my blog post that's connected to this, again, in a little under now 5 hours. So you'll just visit my blog at stampyourartout.com. You'll go to the latest blog post and you'll be able to find it. Or you can look on this sheet. It says 4/3/24, so you'll just look for the date. You could even put in like keywords or whatever. Nature Sweetness corner view pages. Why did I call them corner view pages? Because I love that little corner in the top, and we're going to come to that in a minute. But look at the difference of the photos here. You can take and make a 2-page layout with this. So instead of saying, okay, the one on the right, do you see that photo on the right? That's the one that I just shared with you. But now I'm going to show you quickly how to expand that into 2 pages if you want a little less busyness and you want this to go in a scrapbook page. Because again, this is scrapbooking. And the more pages we can fill faster, the better. So let's take our 12 by 12 Mossy Meadow now. This comes from our Neutrals pack of designer paper. Neutrals pack of cardstock, and it coordinates with this color. So we have one of the darker colors over here. I didn't go for black because we don't have 12 by 12 black right now. But let's also bring in another square that I created. You can see it with the lighting right now. Another square of 8.5 by 9, or now 9 by 9 with that extra strip. And I'm going to zoom out even more. You might see a messy desk here. Okay, so you can take and go like this. Oops, I'm going to leave that there. That borders this piece. So I have an extra black, a mossy meadow, and then all I did was take some 4.25 by 4.25 inch pieces of white, and you can definitely have more photos in this layout now if you were to do 4.25 inch by 4.25 inch squares all the way across. And there we have a 2-page spread. So you have the option for the 1-page or the 2-page, okay? All right. Yay. Let's go back to the corner view, because you saw that in the description of the video, right? Corner view pages and cards. I loved this little conglomeration right here. I thought it was so, so stunning. And normally I'm inspired by a card to create a page. You'll see that in my Paper Pumpkin videos when I create pages. In fact, this month's, in 2 days, I'm going to do a blog post, and it's going to be a page that was inspired by a card that I made. Okay, so then we can take and we can make a card from a page. You can go back and forth. This is and I'm going to zoom in now because we're really far away. This is the card that I made based on this page. And it's like a little snippet from the page. Do you see how it doesn't have a black border here? It dips into the corner as if it's coming off of something, as if it's a view of a corner. And I even made, you guys, I'm so excited. I even made my own little sketch card sketch for this. So if you want to, you can grab that from my blog today too. But how do we make this? It's pretty much just the same thing, only some odd measurements. So now I'm going to switch to a different PDF because you'll be able to get both of them from today's post. This is, hang on, there we go. This is the card PDF for making today's card. So you can see close up, you can see the full card, and then you can see the comparison of where I got the inspiration from. Measurements, supplies are on there. By the way, on my PDF, most of the supplies are clickable, so you can just hover over them and click and shop. Okay, let's go back to the desktop. And I have to move this off my desktop so I can see. So Kelly, you inspired a lot. A lot of things today. Okay, all right, so what did I do for this one? I took, and I have my pieces over here. Okay, so I took and made it into a card by having a black card base. So this is just a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So it's cut in half vertically, scored in the middle, so 4.25 by 11, folded in half at 5.5 inches. We'll grab our bone folder, which is on my desk somewhere, and it's hidden. There it is. And we'll give this a good crease. And then we have white layers, one for the inside, one for the outside. But you'll see that this outside layer here goes all, ooh, that's messy. Scrap. The look of mistakes goes on the inside anyways, right? We're just going to cover that up. So I'm going to lay this down like that so that it's flush with the edge. So fun. All right, so there's that. And then we took and did this with the designer paper, and I have to tell you I have a mistake on the PDF that I hope to correct before the blog post goes live soon. This measurement should be 3 and, what did I write there? 3 7/8 instead of 2 7/8, okay? So this one goes on next, and it just goes straight down onto the paper. And again, just kind of use your fingers or the edge of your table to help guide that layer. Then I used 2 pieces that were the same size, only in this instance I cut the white one a little shorter, oops. But they should be 3 by 5.5. And this one will go on first. We'll just lay that onto our card. In fact, you know what? Put adhesive all over because you don't know what's going to be removed and what's not here. So you're going to use that sketch, the sketch that I shared, that I put down somewhere. Here it is. You're going to use that sketch and you're going to say, oh, so it's kind of tilted this way. And I see a little bit of the black corner up there, and it goes down like that. Okay, got it. So there's that. And then you trim. So you want to flip your card over, use a long bladed scissors to trim. Okay, and then we're going to take our white. With our white, you'll see for this particular card, I don't want to put the white all the way down on this left side. So let's just use some temporary adhesive again. I'm just going to add a bit of it like that, have it come off my card. I'm pushing my hand over here because I have a slightly narrower piece than what I'd planned. And I want to make sure that this corner gets covered. So I'm going to angle it like that. Okay, so there's that piece. Then we use our Celebrate, and that's already set for me to go. I've already cut another one ahead of time. And our branches, and so we start building our branches inside there because we have temporary adhesive. I have even one more card to show you guys. I hope you're still with me. Oh gosh, we're good on time. Okay, so let me pull these up and stick them under. We are good on time. Okay, and we'll just decorate underneath here. As we're decorating underneath here, you want to think about your side of the white, because do you see here? I added some stuff here. If we just go with the way the page looks, it looks kind of blank over here, doesn't it? And we also want our Celebrate to be not over the white part, but not over the designer paper, but maybe over the black. Like you want it to be more centered, right? So all of that is going to change a little bit just because we have a smaller little canvas that we're working on now. So let me lay this down. We'll add that there. We'll lift the paper up, tuck it, and another leaf. We have 2 more leaves. This is our Granny Apple Green. I do love Granny Apple Green. I'm wearing green today. Did you guys notice that? I try to coordinate with my projects. And then we have one more little leaf here. Let's add this one, but we're going to add it by putting adhesive here and here. And we'll just lift this up, tuck it, and add it like that. Okay, before we add the Celebrate, we want to do some stamping. So we're going to grab our stamps again. And if you want to do this before you add your leaves, you certainly can, because there's going to be a little bit of a bump there from the leaves. I think that's how I did my original. Shh, don't tell anyone. Here is my Granny, nope, this is Parakeet Party. Granny Apple Green. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to use the Granny Apple Green, and we'll ink that. We'll lay our word down. It's good to use your pieces as guides before you're sure where you want them to go. This is going to go here. And I'm going to quickly come in with the blender pen, because if you wait too long, the color will dry and it'll be harder to pull the color from the leaves. Okay, so you want to do that right away when the ink is still semi-wet. It's not perfect, like it dries quickly, but the sooner you catch that, the better. Then we'll use our gray with our branch with our basic gray ink, and we'll stamp that coming from here. Oh, this is looking so cool. And then we have one more, because remember we had 3 stamp images. We can't forget our little splatter. So our splatter, oops, is done with the Parakeet Party, and we'll just have that trail down like that. Alrighty. After we've added the paper and we've stamped it the way we want and we know where this is going to go, then we can lift this up. Oh, wait, we have to actually add this. So let's peel it back away. Oh yeah, I have that stuck to there. Peel it back away, add your adhesive. Let's bring it back down on top, making sure our corners and everything line up. Open this up. Take your scissors with the long blade. The long blade helps because you can push it right up against your card as you're trimming. It makes it go really quick. And then we'll take the dimensionals off. And on this card, you can make your dimensionals go all the way across if you want to, because we are not sliding a photo underneath. So we'll just stick another one there. We'll add that across here. And then to finish it off, we're just going to use some blooming pearls, okay? I know, Virginia, she goes, we haven't guessed what you're wearing for a long time. It's because it's a given, isn't it? So for the blooming pearls, you can either use the Take Your Pick tool or you can use your snips. I'm going to, are these leaving? I can't remember. I just said something that I might not, should have, I don't know. I can't remember what's leaving, what's coming, but it's all marked in the online store. So if you go to stampinup.com or you click on my shop button from my blog and you click on a product, it will say if it's retiring soon. So there, and then this of course goes on the inside. And there you have your finished card. You guys, scrapbooking, card making, it is very similar. And you can get inspired to do one from another. You know, it's amazing. I have another card to show you. I'm just going to explain how I put it together. I'm not going to actually demonstrate it, but this one will be shared in a future blog post. So let me move these off to the side here. This card here was the original one that I was going to design for the blog post today, and then I got carried away with scrapbooking because I was so excited about scrapbooking. So to make this card, I took a strip of cardstock, basic white cardstock that was, well, and it doesn't have to be this exact measure for height, but it's about 2 inches, so 2 inches by 4 1/4. And I started adding strips of cardstock, strips of designer paper. I took and sponged some color onto the cardstock. So for example, the Granny Apple Green color that you see here, I sponged it with a dauber. I took my Granny Apple Green dauber, inked it up, and then just pounced onto the cardstock strips before adding it so it would have that textured designer paper look to it. So that's where this piece is. We have the designer papers. Let me bring those back over. So this one is actually, and you can see it really well here, that's the grid paper where I said some people are coloring it. So you can take that grid design here, and I cut like a little strip of that, and then I sponged Granny Apple Green onto that too. The thing with foiled paper, when you sponge your ink onto it, you want to take a tissue, like a Kleenex type tissue, and rub over the top after you're done adding the ink so that the ink doesn't dry on the foiled areas and make it hard to see, because this is actually wiped away, but you can see it better here just because some areas of the grid are not real clear. That's just the way the paper is. Here's another piece of designer paper. Do you see that one where it's got the Parakeet Party green and gold? That one came from this sheet. So this one here has mostly gold, but a little bit of white here and there, and it makes this really pretty. I'm going to show you that one. It makes this really pretty. If I can pick it up. There it is. I mean, look how intense the green is on that. Isn't that fun? It's like a neon green against the gold. So that was that strip. Then I just had plain strips that were like 1/8 of an inch of the Parakeet Party in there. These are either 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch in width. After I stuck those all down with adhesive, thanks Amy. After I stuck those all down, then I did a die cut from this section here in the middle where it was going to get covered up. So if I were to lift this up, you would see this design die cut from that section. And that was, again, just this die, only done right in the middle of the paper. And I added that piece up and off to the side, making sure that all of those little lines on there were going parallel with the lines on the background paper here. Added a piece of basic black, added my circles. This is a 2-inch diameter gold foil circle with a 1 3/4 inch diameter basic white circle, which I stamped on first and then I punched out. And I just layered those together so that they were kind of offset, added some blooming pearls, and that is that card. This one I'll have supplies for in future blog posts. It won't be Friday though, because that's my Paper Pumpkin day where we do a blog hop that day too. But you'll see that like within the week, and they'll be able to get information for that card, all the supplies, the measurements, etc. Let's bring back everything. We're going to do some prize drawings. Those of you that have commented, yay for you, because if you know how my videos work, you know that you can get in on prize drawings if you are commenting, sharing the video and saying that you're sharing. Any comment that you share gets you entered. I'm going to add that like there. Okay, we got lots going on here, you guys. I filled the whole screen. Hang on. There, that's a little bit better. Easier on the eyes. Okay, so we have cards. We'll just leave one in here. We have pages, cards. It's fun. Thanks, Barbara. Oh, you guys. Oh, Margaret, you can do it. You can pull it out and do it. You have photos, right? So that's my dilemma too. I have actually set aside photo adding to my pages for a while now. I haven't gone to any scrapbooking retreats. I used to host 3 a year, and it's been a while. Just life changes. My boys are teenagers. Life is busy, right? You become the chauffeur. I'm still taking photos. We're all taking photos, right? So start with the most recent. That's the way they tell you to do it. Start with the most recent photos and scrapbook going backwards. You're going to feel like you're getting a lot more done than if you try to start in the past and move forward and feel like you're never catching up. Okay? So if you're going to scrapbook, take some recent event, develop the photos, print them off however you want to print them off, Shutterfly, Walgreens, your printer, whatever. Cut them to size, start building pages around them, or take some of the page layouts that you see out there, case them like I did, or recreate the pages in some way. You can copy any of my designs that I share in my past blog posts. And, just click on scrapbooking on stampyourartout.com. Click on the scrapbooking link, and it will bring you to any scrapbook pages I've done in the past. Copy them, recreate pages, and then add photos. That's what I'm doing. I've got a whole bunch of pages stacked up over on the side of my room, ready for that day when it will calm down a bit and I can just print off photos and add them. I'm so excited. That's why I keep my scrapbooking up, because I know that I'll get back to it. We have those periods of time, right? And even if your babies are grown and gone, let's say they're 50, 60 years old by now, I can't tell you how awesome it was to get a scrapbook set of pages from my mother with photos from my past. And it was just so joyous to see it. So you're going to touch their heart no matter what age they are if you scrapbook. Oh my gosh, Rachel's crying. Okay, so enough about that. The prizes that we had last week, let me go to my computer because I want to make sure I'm telling you guys this correctly here. We had prizes. We have prizes every Wednesday live unless it's a special live. But last week we had drawn some 3D embossing folders that we had. We had a storage case from Tailored Expressions. We have some things left over. We have one winner from the last live, Desert Deb. You did not claim your prize yet, so please reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net, N-E-T, and let me know that you're there, and then you and I can communicate back and forth, and I can get you your prize. If you live outside the U.S., I can still give you a virtual prize. It's a choice of tutorials, video class bundles, that sort of thing. So I can still give you a prize, okay? So anybody in the world can watch and win. What else? We have past prize winners that I have to just kind of rattle off here. I want to make sure that if you missed out on your prize that you get in, because some of you, your time is almost up for claiming it. Let's see here. We have from the past, Terry Dobzish. Oh, I'm going to have to, you know what? Terry with a Z in the middle and then Curcio. So you were a winner from Facebook. And then Jean Hoffman, you were a winner from Facebook. We have BYDIAN, so by Diane, a winner from YouTube. Rena Hurst, 4743, a winner from YouTube. Kathy Hostutler, a winner from YouTube. And Becky White, Becky White 7507, a winner from YouTube. So reach out to me if I called out your name. We also have two other winners from today, and they're going to get a choice of the 3D embossing folders that I have left, or there's a Tailored Expressions storage case that's really cool that I got from Stampin' Storage. And I am going to pull this away so that I can bring up my prizes. Okay, and Trisha's already called out the winners for today, which is great. We have Julaine Stachevich and Rebecca Ewing. Yay, Becky Ewing. You two are the prize winners for today's prize, and I'll tell you that in a second. Let me pull out what I've got for last week's prize winners and pull those names up. So we have, and I'm going to pull these out of here. These are what's left. You have a choice of 4 things, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to move over and bring in my computer screen. We have from, this is YouTube, Nancy St. Pierre, 7324 from last week's After Live. You can choose one of the 3D embossing folders that I have left, or the Tailored Expressions dies. And then another last week winner is Debbie Reynolds from Facebook. So congratulations to both of you. Make sure that you reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net, and I'll show you those prizes again real soon here. Here we go. So we have for you the Twisted Rope 3D, the Elegant Eucalyptus 3D. We have 2 Tailored Expressions, so you get to pick one of those. We have a lot. All right, so reach out to me so I can send you a prize. And today's winners will get to choose, and hang on a minute. There we go. Today's winners will get to choose a video class bundle. So every time we do a blog hop, you can either choose from the latest video class bundle, which again is the Nature's Sweetness, or you can go to my past ones, and I can show you how to find those. We're going to just pull up my blog. Here we go. And I'm going to bring you over there and you can take a peek. So when you're on my blog at stampyourartout at comcast.net, you're going to go to Shop, Tutorials, Tutorials. Okay, when you're here, you can see all the different choices, and there's pages and pages and pages of them. It's going. There we go. So here's the latest one, Nature's Sweetness. So just scroll through. There's like even additional pages to click on down here and to see even more. It's fun to be a winner, right? If you're a winner, again, please reach out to me at stampyourartout at comcast.net. All right. That is it for today, you guys, except for just let me remind you that we're transitioning into a new catalog. We have new products coming. You'll want to check out my box opening videos that I've done. We have products that are leaving. You'll want to make sure that you go to any blog post, scroll down, click on the discontinued list, and it will bring you to the page where you can download these lists and mark up what's leaving, or just go to stampinup.com, click on the shop button or whatever on my blog and start shopping and see what is going. On April 9th, there will be discounts on some of these products, and those will be marked. In fact, there'll probably be a special section on the website on April 9th that you can go to, and like last chance or whatever. If you click on that, you'll be able to see everything that's leaving. But I will tell you this, that some things are already selling out, even though the last chance promotion with the discounted prices has not begun, because people want them. They don't want to wait until the sale price. They want them that much, right? So check that out. I think that's all I wanted to tell you. So we will let you go. And I hope that you all have a great week. I hope that I inspired you either with scrapbooking or card making today. Thank you all for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.